The Gardener's Tale. In a land that knew not the beauty of nature lived two brothers determined to be the one to replace the dreary drab with colors of life for all to grab. And so they began by purchasing a plot of land where they would each grow a garden so fair and grand that all eyes will come upon and will wish that it never be gone. Each brother began their work with a hoe in hand and a lack of lurk to accomplish the task that must soon be done before the arrival of the next moon. Slicing and dividing the imperfect dirt, one brother was precise and detailed while the other was inert, and stood there gazing at the taunting invitation from the girls walking nearby. This brother's dirt remained clumped, making it difficult for seeds to grow in such slumped soil, while the other brother succeeded through his hard work and with his dirt created a smooth, nurturing safe haven in which the seeds could sprout and waken the dull gray town. It was quite clear which brother's soil would bring more cheer, for no kind of garden can grow in unprepared soil that does not glow. Now both brothers moved on to the task of planting the seeds when a companion came and asked, "One of you care to join me and some lovely ladies on a trip to the pub? Gladsome you will be." The ladies with the man were, in fact, a sight to see, like beautiful polished amber. With only 3 seeds planted so far, the brother with poor soil had a love for the bar and was highly tempted by such an invitation. He looked at his unfinished mission, for he had only planted a few seeds, while his brother had nearly completed the deed on his developing garden. With haste, the unwise brother ran and chased after the single ladies. As the foolish brother vanished, the dedicated brother stayed back and wished that when the moment was right, his garden would be a reflection of light. He so desperately wanted to go with the others, but did not want to quit like his brother. Instead, he took his second stance and watered his new baby plants. Obnoxious weeds constantly appear and battle the plants, trying to bring them down like weak cattle. Alas, the brother then comes to the rescue by pulling the weeds without further ado, and saves the defenseless plants in distress. Hooray! He has had a victorious success. The next night, a gust of wind blew through the land, its forceful speed grew. Worrying about his fresh seedlings, the caring brother began to comfort the foliage by conversing with them. He whispered in a warm, gentle voice, "Fear not, for the wind will soon pass and we will rejoice." After weeks of inconsistently showing his face, coming in and out, going from place to place, the lazy brother returned to his untended soil, and saw a sight that made him slightly recoil. Hardly a garden at all, the fertilizer lacked seeds. The brother had made a negative impact, for he had been out playing with his peers, doing nothing more than drink away his many beers. These actions ended up putting his garden to a halt, and he could blame no one as it was his fault. He tries to make up his mistakes by, without care, tossing the seeds into the soil, and then sat in his chair. Within the next few moments, the hard-working brother came with the desire to tell his brother how to play the game. "My dear brother," the wise one spoke, "you must know that your garden needs your attention if it is to grow." The foolish brother, offended, replied in defense, "Brother, you are the fool. Your words are nonsense. You spend hours and hours on little details, and all you have to show for it are tiny stems, not even very tall." The wise brother quietly stood there, lost in thought, but quickly replied to his brother, who talked a lot. "They may seem little now, but I know that with my effort they will, with time, grow into the finest shades of green and other colors this nondescript town has ever seen." Positive motivations such as these are what kept the wise brother in a state of ease. Springtime came. Out blossomed vivid flowers in the dedicated brother's garden of power. His endurance and dedication was undoubtedly reflected, more than any one person could have expected. Now his little green stems had made up the most extraordinary garden in all of Europe. He further continued to nourish the plants, even though he had completely worn out his pants. He said aloud, "This is only the beginning, I feel. More will occur, perhaps, after my meal." The land possessed an engaged princess who desired her wedding to be flawless. Yet she had not found an unknown prize that would make her wedding sparkle in all eyes. She did not know exactly what she sought, only that it existed in a certain spot. The fair princess was absolutely worn out. She had found nothing and was filled with doubt. Fearing that what she sought had no existence, the bride headed home in silence. Then, what should come across her footsteps than the wise brother sweeping his doorstep? Her sorrowful eyes were immediately drawn to his stunning garden, and her worries were gone. She whispered to herself, "This is it," and then rose her voice, "Thank heavens I did not quit!" With an ecstatic smile upon her face, the princess walked closer to the vibrant place. In a sweet, gentle voice, she called to the brother, "Hello there, sir. I ask, are you the gardener?" The committed man was pleased and answered, "Why, yes, I planted this garden you have entered." The queen-to-be was delighted to hear so, and congratulated him with, "Bravo!" Afraid that the gardener would be appalled, she shyly asked for his flowers at her wedding hall. With graciousness he granted her request. The lovely princess felt so blessed. Grateful for the gardener's generous act, the princess brought him back to the castle, which lacked liveliness. But that would all soon change when the gardener's flowers would be arranged. And so the royal wedding came at last, flowers decorated everywhere, and a blast of color in the hall. Impressed by what he had done, the royal family insisted he harvest a royal garden. Back to the foolish brother who had spent all his money on drinks and now had not 1 cent. Alone, he wandered just outside the kingdom grounds. He looked up and saw flowers by the pound. Next, his eyes scanned up to his brother, who now had high pay as the royal gardener. It was at that moment that the lazy brother realized his loss. His lack of dedication did not pay the cost. In contrast, the wise brother paid the debt of success with all his hard work and mighty sweat.